And let's get into the first script of this evening. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 12 through 13. Seek not death in the era of your life, because we've all erred. We've all gone astray. So once we learn to do better, we must stay on that path of righteousness, being guided by the Spirit and not our own private interpretations, our own ways of our own flesh, which will lead us unto error and death. Seek not death in the era of your life, and pull not upon yourselves destruction with the works of your hands. And when you do these things, you're using private interpretations, the works of your own hands. You're trusting in your own self. You're being guided by your own eyes, your own understanding. For Jehovah made not death, neither hath he pleasure in the destruction of the living. And this is why he sent this word, this warning, and this guidance, and this counsel, and this comfort to give us while we on this journey, on this road down a path that is narrow and straight, but is destruction on all sides. At any instant, we could be pulled to the left or to the right if we use our own private interpretations, our own vain imaginations, the works of our own hands, which will pull us to that destruction, because it's a lack of knowledge. Let's go to 2 Kings. No, let's go to Deuteronomy. Verse 16 through 17 and 20 through 21. Oh, this is the wrong book. We only use one book. That's the King James Version with the Apocrypha, the 1611. and 16. And I knew it was in error because it said Yahweh. We don't go by that. Those are the makings of many books, those private interpretations. Verse 16 of Deuteronomy chapter 31. And the Spirit of God said unto Moses, Behold, remember, thou shalt sleep with thy fathers, and this people will rise up and go a-whoring after the gods of the strangers of the land, whither they go to be among them, and will forsake me, and break my covenant which I have made with them. So it's already written. He already knew. He already know our thoughts. He already know that our ways is corrupt. Genesis 6 and 5. And Jehovah saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. This people will rise up and go a whoring after the gods of the strangers of the land, whither they go to be among them, and will forsake me, and break my covenant which I have made with them. Then my anger shall be kindled against them in that day. Verse 7 of Genesis chapter 6. And the Spirit of God said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and the creeping thing, and the fowls of the air, for it repent of me that I have made them. Ain't nothing new under the sun. I will forsake them, cast them out. Then my anger shall be kindled against them in that day, and I will forsake them, and I will hide my face from them. And they shall be devoured, and many evils and troubles shall befall them, so that they will say in that day, are not these evils come upon us, because our guide is not among us, because our salvation is not among us? Verse 20 through 21. For when I shall have brought them into the land which I swear unto their fathers, this is Jehovah speaking, that floweth with milk and honey, and they shall have eaten and filled themselves and waxen fat, then will they turn unto other gods, idols, and serve them, and provoke me, and break my covenant. You're going to start using private interpretations because you've waxed rich, you waxed fat, you got pompous, you got prideful, stiff-necked, and hard-hearted, to where you think you the big shot. You forget everything that got you where you are today, which is that grace and mercy of our God Jehovah. Verse 21. And it shall come to pass, when many evils and troubles are befalling them, that this song shall testify against them as a witness. Song, page 1584 in the Sovereign King James Bible Dictionary. Song is confession, was confession, acknowledged, acknowledgement. And it shall come to pass, when many evils and troubles are befalling them, that this confession, this acknowledgement shall testify against them as a witness. And it does. Because once we understand who we are, and we go back and seek out the matters and the issues, then we can see how we've trespassed and broken the covenant of our God, and why we've been cast off and forsaken, but not forgotten, because He's given us this word of reviving, this word of reproof, this word of remembrance, so that we can come back and we can get out of this trouble that we're in. When many evils and troubles are befalling them, that this song shall testify against them as a witness, for it shall not be forgotten out of the mouths of their seed. For I know their imagination which they go about, even now. They go right back. In verse 5. And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only contrary evil, continually against Jehovah. For I know their imagination which they go about even now, before I have brought them into the land which I swear. Second Kings chapter 17, verse 13 through 15. Yet the Spirit of God testified against Israel and against Judah by all the prophets and by all the seers, saying, Turn ye from your evil ways, and keep my commandments and my statutes according to all the law which I commanded your fathers, and which I sent to you by my servants the prophets. Notwithstanding, they would not hear, but hardened their necks, like to the neck of their fathers, that did not believe in the Spirit of God their God. Because they having too much fun in this vain world, their vain imaginations. And they rejected his statutes and his covenant that he made with their fathers, and his testimonies, which he testified against them. And they followed vanity, and became vain, and went after the heathen that were round about them, concerning whom the Spirit of God had charged them that they should not do like them. Deuteronomy 31 and 19. Now therefore write ye this song for you, and teach it to the children of Israel. Put it in their mouths, that this song may be a witness for me against the children of Israel. For when I shall brought them into the land, verse 20, which I swear unto their fathers, that floweth with milk and honey, and they shall have eaten and filled themselves, and waxen fat, then will they turn unto other gods and serve them, and provoke me, and break my covenant. So we've done it to ourselves. But we must study to show ourselves approved, that we can come back. Turn ye from your evil ways, and keep my commandments. He has testified to us, that spirit within these men that are come to teach. Jeremiah 3:15. And I will give you pastors according to mine heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding. And it shall come to pass, when you be multiplied and increased in that land, in those days, said the Lord, Spirit of God, they shall say no more, the ark of the covenant of the Spirit of God, neither shall it come to mind, neither shall they remember it, neither shall they visit it, neither shall that be done any more. Because we, in our own ways, using our own interpretation privately, when we need to be in this book, learning precept upon precept, how to get understanding. and hate every false way, these private interpretations that will lead us astray, where we will be lost. Let's go Ezekiel. Ezekiel 20, chapter 22, verse 14 through 15 and 23 through 27. Can thine heart endure, or can thine hands powers be strong in the days that I shall deal with thee? I, the Spirit of God, have spoken it and will do it. And I will scatter thee among the heathen, and disperse thee in the countries, and will consume thy filthiness out of thee. Because we've been seeing that we've just been despising his word, leaning to our own understanding, going on our own ways, private interpretations, leading us to worship false idols. 23 through 27. And the word of the Spirit of God came unto me, saying, Son of man, say unto her, Thou perfection and beauty, the land that is not cleansed, nor rained upon in the day of indignation. There is a conspiracy of her prophets in the midst thereof, like a roaring lion ravening the prey. They have devoured souls. They have taken the treasure and precious things. They have made her many widows in the midst thereof. And this is what they do with these private interpretations. Lead you astray and devour your soul. Lead you out of that protection, out of that covering of righteousness of the Spirit of Jehovah, and leading you into those dark places, those dens, hellholes, dens of devils. Her priests have violated my law. This is how we wax fat. We understood it, we got it, we had it, and we profaned it. We violated it by using private interpretations, being fleshly instead of learning how to be spiritual, staying in the book, meditating on the word. We've gone astray, and it's time to come back. Her priests have violated my law, and have profaned mine holy things. They have put no difference between the holy and profane, neither have they showed difference between the unclean and the clean. They'll tell you everything is okay, all you got to do is believe in a man, and have hid their eyes, their understanding from my Sabbaths. And I am profaned among them. Verse 27, her princes in the midst thereof are like wolves, ravening the prey, to shed life, and to destroy souls, to get dishonest gain. This is their whole MO. This is the game plan. Destroy your soul, have you in subjection of them, and extract all they can out of you. Bleed the blood out of you. So let's go to Jeremiah chapter 2. Go check out Jeremiah. See what he got to say about the matter. Verse 3 through 11. Israel was holiness unto the Spirit of God, and the first fruits of his increase. All that devour him shall offend. Evil shall come upon them, says the Spirit of God. Hear ye the word of the Spirit of God, O house of Jacob, and all the families of the house of Israel. Thus says the Spirit of God, what iniquity have your fathers found in me? So he's not teaching us that. Those ways of death. He's not teaching us the way of evil. He's not teaching us to depart from righteousness. He's not giving us license to sin. Have your fathers found in me that they are gone far from me, and have walked after vanity, and are become vain by these private interpretations. Neither said they, where is the Spirit of God that brought us up out of the land of Egypt? Don't nobody say that anymore. They don't say we the people. They don't even believe we the people. They believe we're Gentiles. They believe all can be saved. All need to be saved. No, we need to be saved because we are the ones that are destroying ourselves for a lack of knowledge, denying his covenant, abhorring his ways, being unclean, profaning the holy, not putting a difference between the holy and profane, saying everything is good when things aren't all good. A false truth, vain interpretations, private interpretations. They walked after vanity and are become vain. Neither said they, where is the Spirit of God that brought us up out of the land of Egypt, that led us through the wilderness, through a land of deserts and of pits, through a land of drought. So he gonna guide us through this wilderness, through this land of death and of the shadow of death, through a land that no man passed through and where no man dwelt. We can do all things through him who strengthens us. We can't do anything with our own fleshly ways, our own private interpretations, thinking that we know it all. We must be guided by the Spirit, always meditating on his word. Verse 7, and I brought you into a plentiful country to eat the fruit, to learn the fruit, the works of the Spirit thereof, and the goodness thereof. But when ye entered, ye defiled my land and made my heritage an abomination. Getting back on us again, because we must see the things that we've done. We're not crazy thinking that we are righteous and that we've made it into the kingdom and that we are saved. Once saved, always saved. No. We've broken his heart. We've broken his covenant. We've lost our way. And it's time to return through these precepts, through that word of truth, which will enlighten us and guide us on this path. The priest said not, where is the Spirit of God? Because they know him not. And they that handled the law knew me not. The pastors also transgressed against me, and the prophets prophesied by Baal, and walked after things that do not profit. The flesh don't profit anything. Wherefore I will yet plead with you, says the Spirit of God. I told you we not forgotten. We forsaken ourselves by going after Baal and walking after things that do not profit us. We've walked off. And with your children's children will I plead. For pass over the isles of Chittim and see, and send unto Kedar, and consider diligently, and see if there be such a thing. Hath a nation changed their gods, their idols? You see, the Chinese, Asian people worship Buddha. They haven't changed their God, their idol. That's what they're accustomed to. That's their heritage. And all the other nations have their idols, which are yet not gods. But my people have changed their glory for that which doth not profit. We running after theirs, instead of understanding what we have within us. That seed, that word of truth, that word of life. If we just take time and water it by diligently studying, cultivating that ground, tilling that ground, building that land so that that seed that's within can grow. So let's go to John chapter 6. Verse 27 and 33. Labor not for the meat which perisheth. So don't be killing yourself for that which is not gonna profit you anything. You work to die. When you use private interpretations and lean upon your own understanding, and you live for this life that you can see instead of living through faith of the hope to come. Labor not for the meat which perisheth. You doing all these vain works. They change their glory for that which doth not profit, but for that meat which endureth unto everlasting life, which is that word, that seed that we were saying. We're going to labor for that. We're going to work till that ground, which the servant of man shall give unto you. For him hath Jehovah, our salvation, the Father, sealed. Let's go to 33. For the bread, the doctrine, the knowledge of Jehovah is he which cometh down from heaven and giveth life unto the world. This is what we must labor for. We must get that manna. It's given freely. We must establish it within our hearts, consume it, and then we can redistribute it out once we understand and be enlightened. And then we won't be using no private interpretations, because we're going to be having that bread of Jehovah, that bread of salvation is he which cometh down from heaven and giveth life unto the world. And we know what came down. Wisdom of Solomon, 18:15. Thine almighty word, for the bread of God is he which cometh down from heaven. Thine almighty word, that bread of God. leaped down from heaven out of thy royal throne as a fierce man of war into the midst of a land of destruction. He giveth life unto the world, because we was once lost, but now we're enlightened once we get that bread of life, which cometh down from heaven, that almighty word. Exodus, oh no, let's go to John 35. 35, 45, and 63. And salvation said unto them, I am the bread of life. That almighty word, not a man. That he that cometh to me shall never hunger. And he that believeth on me shall never thirst. 45. Because we ain't going to be using no private interpretations. We going to understand. We going to get the whole matter. We going to diligently study and meditate on that bread of life, that doctrine, that word. It is written in the prophets, and they shall be all taught of Jehovah, of that word. Every man therefore that hath heard and hath learned of the Father, heard that word, and have learned of the Father, the Creator cometh unto me. 63. You can't come unto him with our own private interpretations. It's only one way, and it's not your way. 63. It is the Spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life. Thine almighty word leaped down from heaven out of thy royal throne as a fierce man of war into the midst of a land destruction. Verse 64, but there are some of you that believe not. There's going to be some of us. There's always going to be that mixed multitude. So we got to take heed, get that spirit of discernment, build that up so you can be able to understand and discern right from wrong, evil from the good, these private interpretations from that word of God, that almighty word that's leaped out of heaven, that bread of life. Exodus 19. Exodus chapter 19, verse 17 through 18. And Moses, that word, brought forth the people out of the camp to meet with Jehovah, with God, with salvation. And they stood at neither part of the mount. And Mount Sinai was altogether on a smoke, because the Spirit of God descended upon it in desire, and it in fire. And the smoke thereof ascended as the smoke of a furnace, and the whole mount quaked greatly. So that's that almighty word coming down. This was showing that into a land of destruction. It wasn't no man. God is not a man. It was that word, that power, that almighty word. That spirit descended upon it in fire. And that desire, that almighty word. Will you take hold of that? Or will you keep using private interpretations that'll lead you astray and into the midst of fire, destruction? First Corinthians, let's hit it over here. 10, 1 through 6. Moreover, brethren, I would not that ye should be ignorant how that all our fathers were under the cloud, and all passed through the sea, and were all baptized unto Moses in the cloud and in the sea, and did all eat that same spiritual meat, and did all drink that same spiritual drink, for they drank of that spiritual rock that followed them, and that rock was Christ, was Jehovah, that almighty word. But with many of them Jehovah salvation was not well pleased, for they were overthrown in the wilderness, going astray. That pride, that wicked root was still up in them. They didn't till that ground properly. Now these things were our examples, to the intent we should not lust after evil things as they also lusted. The mixed multitude consists of believers of the anointed one and non-believers and the non-believers don't believe in the faith and works, which is something we must always meditate and realize that we must be consistent and diligent in, so that we can know which way we should move in the spirit. Or are we going to live according to our own fleshly desires, which will lead us astray from the righteousness of our Creator and His will? Personal interpretations are not prohibited for teaching wisdom, because wisdom is contrary from our own thoughts. We must submit ourselves to wisdom, so she can raise us up in its majesty and glorious light from the beauty and guidance of the law of life and truth. The ones on the left side of the plumb line, being in the world and full of vanity, will do after their own will and be carried away unto their own vain imaginations and deceits against salvation, the anointed way of Jehovah, and will feed themselves on detestable things of the ground. Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 6 through 9, and 11 and 13. Oh, I'm sorry. That was the wrong one. I ran that one already. I meant to go to 16. Verse 17 and 18. For mine eyes are upon all their ways. They are not hid from my face, neither is their iniquity hid from mine eyes. And first I will recompense their iniquity and their sin double, because they have defiled my land. They have filled my inheritance with their carcasses of their detestable and abominable things. 1 Corinthians 3:16 through 20. And these detestable things are the things that we've learned that are contrary and carnal. And our private interpretations and not the word of truth. These are the things that defile us. Know ye not that ye are the temple of Jehovah, and that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you? So how can he dwell in you when you dwelling in a lie? You not studying his word, but you using your own private interpretations to build your own self up, your own temple up, defiling it with detestable things that is contrary. If any man defile the temple of Jehovah, him shall salvation or Jehovah destroy. For the temple of Jehovah is holy, which temple ye are. Let no man deceive himself. If any man among you seem to be wise in this world, and this is the problem, let him become a fool that he may be wise. So you humble yourself. You understand that you once was a fool because you was wise in this world. This is the only way. You must till that ground. Stop deceiving yourself and defiling your temple with these lies and vain deceits. Clean your house. Come out of the world of darkness and void. 19. For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with Jehovah. For it is written, he taketh the wise in their own craftiness. So if you want to stay in that boat, he gonna keep you in it. You want to stay a fool, you want to stay ignorant, he gonna keep you ignorant. He gonna show you that light, but if you deny that light ain't gonna come back to guide you. You gonna once you depart from that light, you'll never find it again. He taketh the wise in their own craftiness. Don't be those that lose their mind, caught in madness and illusions, deceits of this world. Verse 20, and again, the Creator knoweth the thoughts of the wise, that they are vain. Let's go back to Genesis 6 and 5. And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And again, the Creator knoweth the thoughts. The imagination of the thoughts of his heart, of the wise, the foolish heart, was only evil continually, that they are vain. Private interpretations. Jeremiah 16, 19 through 21. O Spirit of God, my strength and my fortress, and my refuge in the day of affliction. The Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth, and shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanity, and things wherein there is no profit. So we know this is not talking about the Gentiles. This is talking about us that has been led away astray. First Corinthians 12 and 2. You know that you were Gentiles carried away unto these dumb idols, even as you were led, because you was led by these private interpretations, these vain opinions, detestable and abominable things. So let's go back. The Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth, because we scattered, because we carried away, and shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanity, and things wherein there is no profit. Shall a man make idols unto himself, and they are no gods? Therefore, behold, I will this once cause them to know. I will cause them to know mine hand, my power, and my might, and they shall know that my way is the Spirit of God. Hebrews chapter 4, verse 1 through 3, and 12 and 16. Let us therefore fear, lest a promise being left us of entering into his rest, any of you should seem to come short of it. For unto us was the gospel preached, the message preached, as well as unto them. But the word preached did not profit them, not being mixed with faith in them that heard it. For we which have believed do enter into rest, as he said, as I have sworn in my wrath, if they shall enter into my rest, although the works were not finished from the foundation of the world. Verse 12 and 16. For the word of Jehovah is quick and powerful, and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit, and of the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. Let us therefore come boldly unto the throne of grace, that we may obtain mercy and find grace to help in time of need. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 9, verse 4 and 6. Give me wisdom that sitteth by thy throne, that almighty word, and reject me not from among thy children, thy works. Verse 6. For though a man be never so perfect among the children of men, yet if thy wisdom be not with him, he shall not be nothing regarded. That's why we must come boldly unto the throne of grace, that we may obtain mercy and find grace to help in time of need. We must cleave onto that wisdom. Let's see that in chapter 7, verse 7 through 8, 13 through 16, 22 through 28. Wherefore I prayed, and understanding was given me. Then we just see that in chapter 9, verse 4, where he says, give me wisdom that sitteth by thy throne. This is how we ask. We petition. Wherefore I petitioned, and understanding was given me. I called upon Jehovah, and the spirit of wisdom came to me. I preferred her, that spirit of wisdom, before scepters and thrones, and esteemed the riches nothing in comparison of her. So he didn't use his vain private interpretations to think this is what a king is supposed to have. Being prideful, being the big show, being the big shot. No, he wanted wisdom so that he can be guided. So I prefer her before scepters and thrones, and esteem riches nothing in comparison of her. Neither compared I unto her any precious stone, because all gold in respect of her is as little sand, and silver shall be counted as clay before her. 13 through 16. But let's hit 10. I loved her above health and beauty, and chose to have her instead of light. For the light that cometh from her never goeth out. That's that eternal spirit, that wisdom. All good things come together. Good things together came to me with her, in innumerable riches in her hands, in her powers. I learnt diligently, and do communicate her liberally. I do not hide her riches. I hope we are seeing this picture. How we forsake ourselves and we cleave unto this spirit, that seed, that knowledge of wisdom, which will germinate that seed within us. For she is a treasure unto men that never faileth, which they that use become the friends of Jehovah, being commended for the gifts that come from learning. Those fruits that's going to come from that seed, once that plant is grown, you rooted up in wisdom. You labored for wisdom, that doctrine, that bread of life. Labor not for that does not profit you. Verse 15, God hath granted me to speak as I would, and to conceive as is meet for the things that are given me, because it is he that leadeth unto wisdom, and directeth the wise. For in his hand are both we and our words, all wisdom also, and knowledge of workmanship. Because there's no private interpretations. Once you're being guided by the light, that wisdom, you submit yourself. Give me wisdom. That's all I want. forsake myself, condemn this flesh. I am nothing without you. I can do nothing without you. That word of truth, that spirit of wisdom, and the knowledge of its workmanship within me. For he hath given me certain knowledge of the things that are, namely to know how the world was made in the operation of the elements. Oh, I went too far. Verse 22 through 28. For wisdom, which is the worker of all things, taught me. For in her is an understanding spirit, holy, one only, manifold, subtle, lively, clear, undefiled, plain, not subject to hurt, loving the thing that is good, quick, which cannot be letted, ready to do good, kind to men, steadfast, sure, free from care, having all power, overseeing all things, and going through all understanding, pure and most subtle spirits. For wisdom is more moving than any motion. She passeth and goeth through all things by reason of her pureness. For she is the breath of the power of Jehovah, power of Yahweh, and a pure influence flowing from the glory of the Almighty. Therefore can no defiled thing fall into her. For she is the brightness of the everlasting light, the unspotted mirror of the power of Yahweh, and the image of his goodness. And being but one, she can do all things, and remaining in herself, she maketh all things new. We confess wisdom to be everything, the mother, our kinswoman. Without wisdom, we are nothing. We are regarded of nothing, to be nothing. And in all ages entering into holy souls, separated bodies, she maketh them friends of Jehovah and prophets. So these prophets is not going to be using any private interpretations, but guided by that spirit of wisdom. Verse 28. For God loveth none but him that dwelleth with wisdom. John 14. (11 through 19). The Spirit speaketh that wisdom. Believe me that I am in the Father. She is the breath of the power of God, and a pure influence flowing from the glory of the Almighty. Believe me that I am in the Father, and that the Father in me, or else believe me for the very work's sake. These are all the works. For wisdom, which is the work of all things. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believeth on me, that wisdom, the works that I do, shall he do also. For wisdom, which is the work of all things, taught me. We're going to be taught to be able to do these works. Because we believe. We have that faith that hope to come. For in her is an understanding spirit, holy one only. Believe me that I am in the Father, and the Father in me, one. Or else believe me for the very work's sake. Verily I say unto you, he that believeth on me, the works that I do, shall he do also, and greater works than these shall he do. Kind to men, steadfast, sure, free from care, having all power, overseeing all things, and going through all understanding, pure and most subtle spirits. For wisdom is more moving than any motion. That motion, greater works than these shall he do, because I go unto my Father. And whatsoever ye shall ask in my way, that will I do. Give me wisdom. Didn't Solomon say that? That the Father may be glorified in the servant. If ye shall ask anything in my way, that way of wisdom, I will do it. For she is the breath of the power and pure influence flowing from the glory of the Almighty. Therefore can no defiled thing fall into her. So if you're defiled, you're not going to be answered. You're using vain interpretations, private interpretations, your own traditions of men, doctrines of devils. These things will not be influenced by that pure knowledge, that glory of the Almighty Word. If you love me, if you promise me, keep my commandments, and I will pray. I will confess the Father, and he shall give you another comforter, that spirit of wisdom, that he may abide with you forever, even the Spirit of truth, whom the world cannot receive, because it seeth him not, because can no defiled thing fall into her. Therefore can no defiled thing fall into her. She can do all things, even the Spirit of truth. Neither knoweth him, because it seeth him not. Well, even the Spirit of truth, whom the world cannot receive, because it seeth him not, neither knoweth him, but ye know him, for he dwelleth with you, and shall be in you. I will not leave you comfortless, I will come to you. Yet a little while, and the world seeth me no more, but ye see me, because I live, ye shall live also. 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 3 through 10. And I was with you in weakness, and in fear, and in much trembling. And my speech and my preaching was not with enticing words of man's wisdom, but in demonstration of the Spirit and of power, that your faith should not stand in the wisdom of men, but in the power of Jehovah. Howbeit, we speak wisdom among them that are perfect, yet not the wisdom of this world, nor of the princes of this world that come to naught. But we speak the wisdom of Jehovah in a mystery, even the hidden wisdom which God, Jehovah, ordained before the world unto our glory. It's a mystery. Even the Spirit of truth, whom the world cannot receive, because it seeth him not, neither knoweth him, but ye know him, for he dwelleth with you, and shall be in you. John 14:17. It's going to be in us. But we speak the wisdom of God in the mystery, because it's in us, even the hidden wisdom which God ordained before the world unto our glory, which none of the princes of this world knew. For had they known it, they would not have crucified the Creator of glory, defiled that temple. use vain interpretations, private interpretations. But as it is written, I have not seen nor ear heard, neither have entered into the heart of men. Because it's wicked, the thing which God hath prepared for them that love him. If you love him, keep his commandments. "15. If you love me, keep my commandments. And I will pray that, and he shall give you another comforter, that Spirit of truth, which God hath prepared for them that love him. But God hath revealed them unto us by his Spirit. For the Spirit searcheth all things, yea, the deep things of Jehovah, of salvation." Proverbs 10, verse 2, 11, 14, 17, and 31 through 32. "Treasures of wickedness profit nothing, but righteousness delivereth from death." Verse 11. "The mouth of a righteous man is a well of life, but violence covereth the mouth of the wicked." 14. "Wise men lay up knowledge, but the mouth of the foolish is near destruction." 17. "He is in the way of life that keepeth instruction, but he that refuseth reproof erreth." Do not err in your life. Verse 31. 31. "The mouth of the just bringeth forth wisdom, but the forward tongue shall be cut out." And 32. "The lips of the righteous know what is acceptable, but the mouth of the wicked speaketh forwardness." And that's the last scripture. "Acknowledging our own heart's desires and vain opinions of flesh will have us for certainly blaspheme the way of Jehovah, because we cannot compare to his way of thinking. We must submit our hearts unto learning and receiving the wisdom from above. We must always remember to meditate, because our thoughts are not his thoughts, so we must conform to his way and truth of life. The carnal mind is enmity to the Holy One of Israel. We deceive ourselves by thinking our own thoughts, and that our way of life is more superior, like the theology the world teaches as wisdom. The wisdom of this world leads unto death and destruction, pain and misery. So we must always rely on the Almighty Word and not what we believe to be true, because that's nothing more than pride and carnal corruption. The flesh is dumb and weak, and must be circumcised from our ways of life, and be renewed in the spirit of life through the anointed way of Jehovah, so that we can understand the deep messages sent to us for guidance through diligent study and meditation of the word unto remembrance." And this is Deacon DeForest Smith with the King James Bible University and House of the Lost Sheep of Israel, straight out of Compton. Not affiliated with any camps, Christians, or theological doctrines. doctrines of devils, these that keep popping up each week, these splinter cells, these serpents of deceit. We are not affiliated with any of them. And we come to destroy their doctrine and serve you the truth. And I would like to say, Shalom.